All right, welcome to the live AMA. Of course, we're all live. We're here for Clear Crypto. So we got a very extensive panel. My name is Austin Hilton. I'm sure you guys know this since you're seeing this on my channel, but we are broadcasting simultaneously to Twitter, to the Clear Cryptos channel as well. So I'm going to introduce Zach. Zach, welcome. Thanks for joining us.
What's up, man? Yeah. Welcome everybody here too that's just tuning in. So yeah, looking forward to this.
This is going to be a lot of fun. So I want to introduce and I want to turn the mic over to Carmen here in just a minute. But again, we want to thank you for taking the time to spend some time with us. So as far as kind of a flow, what we're going to do is we are going to start with some introductions. Carmen's going to do that and introduce everybody. And then we're going to move into the presentation. And if you have any questions or anything like that, would you maybe hold those towards a little bit in, because we will open up and have a Q&A towards the end. And then finally, we do have a major announcement that we are going to be giving out, but you're going to have to wait a little bit because we're not going to make it up front. You know how this game is played. We're not going to do it up front, so you're going to have to wait. But this is a big announcement. So with that said, Carmen, the floor is yours. Welcome. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much for having us. And look at the screen. I brought such a big team. So I'm going to take a quick moment just to introduce everybody and show them some respect with their titles so we know who's who in the zoo. So I do have with me Edward. He is our tech lead for Clearcryptos. I also have Michael Fortier, our project manager, John Anderson, our head of growth, and Mike, our project lead for analytics, as well as Taras, who is our technical lead. And I myself I am the head of business development for Clearcryptos.
Cool. All right. So Carmen, as far as kind of where we want to go from here, again, the stage is still yours. If you'd like to start off with either yourself, kind of giving everybody, because we've got 60 plus people, we got people that are going to coming in. We need to get kind of a high level definition and kind of an explanation of Clearcryptos, kind of what it is, the project, kind of the vision, strategy, however you want to take that. And then we can kind of go from there.
Absolutely. While I begin, I want to encourage all of you who are watching to definitely, follow with us, and you can definitely start doing your own research by checking out clearcryptos.com. I'm going to introduce this project by going through its mission. It's really the heart and soul of how we operate and how we have grown our vision and set our goals. So the mission here at Clearcryptos is to know, trust, and act. So 3 simple words, but they mean so much, especially within the blockchain space. So when we take a look at the journey of new investors into trading in DeFi or in the blockchain technology space, we know that their journey usually starts with a centralized exchange, but this is DeFi, baby, and we love taking out the middleman and taking out those centralized institutions. So we came out with a decentralized exchange, and it's cutting edge. So our key audience is actually the non-crypto user, but we have built a platform that tenured users have been waiting for. So you're all going to get excited. Now, when it comes to the know part of our mission, we are currently aggregating data from over 100 sources. This is a DEX that's going to help you feel like you have everything in just a glimpse and in arm's reach. So it's very important as a trader when you're coming in that you get the most accurate, the quickest information in the moment to make a decision. Now, because we are aggregating such a large amount of data from so many sources, it's important to know that we are also getting them from all paid API enterprise access. Now that's very important because that's very unheard of on a DEX. So it's on a DEX, guys. This is deployed on a massive, scalable architecture, and it's global. So we have licensed the entire software stack from TradingView. So all of the professional features of TradingView are natively integrated into our analytics platform. Now, let's talk about the company a little bit, right? Because if we're pulling this much data, it's got to be backed up by a massive team. Here at Clearcryptos, we have over 175 people working on our team globally. And this is a platform that has been built behind the scenes for over 2 years. And we just recently launched V1, but we are already working on V2. It's already under development, and it won't stop there. Now, when it comes to building trust with our community and welcoming new community members into this space, we can definitely take a look at some of those key like check marks that investors are going to be looking for. We are CerTech audited with Skynet active, and the team is KYC. We are already listed on an exchange with more to come in Q4. We also have fiat on-ramp partners that one of our guests here today is going to go deeper into. And we have future announcements of huge Web 2 and Web 3 partnerships. In addition to that, we wanted to make sure that our circle of influence and those who are helping us consult on our vision towards opening up this space to the masses, we have onboarded a quite impressive board of advisors. And Austin, I'm just going to ask you if you could help us out and maybe show on screen some of the faces.
Yeah, absolutely, Carmen. So there you go. I'll let
Yeah,
I'll let you go through those. There you go.
when we think about projects that are building in this space, we definitely have to take a look at those that are building for longevity, scalability, and those that are going to be flexible and adaptable. Not only is our technology constantly changing and we need to have new data at our hands, but we also need to marry what's happening in the Web 2 space to what's happening in the Web 3 space. And so we need some experts. So we have brought on board Cesar Bacarea, who is a race car driver. He is a double champion in the GT3 Racing Series. We also have the former United States Ambassador of Denmark, Ambassador James Kane. We have former Lieutenant Army retired General Edward C. Cardone. We also have Chris Hodgson, Principal Cornerstone of the Government Affairs. Michael Pierre Price. Now he's making like a new title, a new name. I love it. Tech Impressionist, artist specializing in abstract, algorithmic, and surrealist art. Super cool, dude. And we also have Juan Pujadas, who is the director of major U.S. Bank. Mike Smith, principal and director, Cornerstone Government Affairs. Dan Solomon, president and chief Olympia officer. And Chris Swecker, former retired FBI assistant director. Now, this is truly a who's who in the zoo. This means that we are forward thinking and making sure that we have the right people in the right place alongside with the development team and the business side to make sure that we're covering all of our ducks in a row. So this has been one of the most exciting teams that I've come on boarded to. This is unlike what we see with other projects that are building in this space and quite impressive.
Yeah, Carmen, I want to comment on that. When Zach and I, got involved 8+ months ago, and we started to see this board form, and then when the board was announced, I was shocked, to say the least, in a positive way, and have personally met Ambassador Kane. Really, really cool guy. Met him at one of the races and was just standing there having a drink next to him. I'm like, so who are you? And he's like, I'm Ambassador Kane. I'm like, wow, you're kind of famous. And he's like, well, you're kind of famous as well. And it was just one of those kind of really, cool things. But what I really love is that, the caliber of people that, Clear has gone out and gotten for the board. So just, yeah, that's.
If I could add my 2 cents there too, I mean, you're not going to find a board like this in DeFi.
No.
Try to find one. It's just non-existent. And I think that's one of the reasons that drew me in. And I know Austin would say the same when we saw this, because there's nothing ever really come across our desk like it. And that's one of the reasons why I really was drawn into Clear, because they're shaking things up. Our industry grew so much in 2021, but the growth still to come in the next 3 to 5+ years is going to be massive. And the big aim is, reaching a hand across the aisle and bringing in the 95% of people who are not in crypto. Yeah. And through the swap, the fiat onboard and off ramp, making it easier, because that's really what it is, right? It's a lack of accessibility and a lack of education, and they're filling those 2 gaps. And those are only 2 things that Clearcryptos is doing. So super excited about the future, and turn it back over to you, Austin.
Yeah, Carmen, and I'm going to give it back to you, Carmen. So go.
Turn it over.
High five. No, when we think about the type of individuals that make up this board, what's even more exciting is that this board is going to continue to grow. So we already kind of have some, for those of us here, we may not be able to say it now, but we have some alpha about who else is going to be. So this is a circle of influence that's going to continue to grow. And when we take a look at individuals of this caliber, we definitely know that they're not going to be tied to a project unless there's a lot of legitimacy based on what we're doing and how it is set up. And again, we go back to the fact that it's been 2 years in the making. Now, going back to the mission of know, trust, and act, we're giving you the best tools to be able to be confident in knowing that the data is correct and that it's accurate and it's timely. We know that we're building trust by making sure that we have advisors that are guiding, the way that we operate and giving us the most access to succeed in the future. Now, ACT is something that for me, it really resembles the one person that's not on the team, which is the community. So this, space right now is very different than the Web2 space. We really thrive when we bring communities together. So if we can deliver on our mission of trusting and knowing, then it's going to enable and empower those who are using our products to be able to act and to be able to trust their actions through that. So it's been that's the overview of everything. It should get everyone really exciting, but I know that it's always followed up. And this is why I don't go after the platform, because we're going to talk about the platform and we're going to give you the behind the scenes. It's currently active online right now, but this is a cool little 6-minute video that we can share to give you some insight on what the platform actually does.
Okay. So Zach, do you have that? There it is.
Should be there for you to air. There we go. All right, I'll play.
I love it. I love it when things work. It's amazing. I mean,
this is Justin Seals, by the way, everybody out there. I think Justin's in the chat. Justin's one of our influencers. He's one of us helping out on the marketing side. Did a fantastic job with this. So
Cryptos dashboard. This dashboard is very beautiful. It's user friendly and easy to use. And I'm going to be breaking down all the key features and the highlights. So first, we're going to be starting with today's market highlights and the Ethereum market cap. It's showing the chart of the history of the market cap, as well as whether it's been up in the past 24 hours. Very, very clean, very, very sleek, very easy to use. Then next, we have the state of the market. We're showing the total market cap, the last day's percentage, whether we're up or down, the global volume, and then Bitcoin dominance over the past 24 hours. And then lastly, we probably have my favorite part of the highlights, which is the social activity. And it's just highlighting the most social tokens on social media. I really like how it breaks down all the sources. You can get connected with their communities, whether it's on Twitter, Telegram, Discord, or even if they have an Instagram or Reddit. And then we show the market rank, which is based off of their CoinGecko rank, and then the price. Next, if we scroll down a little bit, we have our hot pairs, biggest gainers, biggest losers, and just added. So our hot pairs are based off of the most swapped tokens in the past 24 hours. We have the trading pair, the price, the exchanges you can find it on, the price percentage, either up or down in the last 24 hours, as well as the volume over the past 30 days and its liquidity. Next, we have the biggest gainers. And in the biggest gainers, it's pretty self-explanatory. It's just the coin with the most gained over the past 24 hours in price. It shows the percentage right here, the actual price, the exchange, the volume, and then liquidity. Next is the biggest loser. It's just the opposite of the biggest gainer. Which coin or token has lost the most in price over the past 24 hours? And then last is the just added, and that is the newly added pairs. Next, we have live pairs. And on live pairs, we can browse all the pairs that are live on all of the decentralized exchanges. So we have the trading pair, the price, the exchange that it's listed on, as well as the price change over the past 24 hours, when it was last updated, liquidity, and you get a nice one-day chart. What I like about this is that you can also sort it by price, exchange, price change, and when it was last updated. And then you can actually change the view. So if you're like me and you don't like this style of chart, your brain gets kind of fuzzled and it's just too much information to kind of look at and sort through, you can come right over here and you can change the view And to me, this is very nice. It's clean. It's easy to read. I can see the chart. I can see how much it's up or down percentage-wise. And then I can see the price as well as the pair. You can also show more. So if you come down here, you can show 24 on one screen, and then you just got to scroll down to see the rest. But again, it's just easier on the eyes for me personally. I know some people will like the other way better, but it's always good to have options. And the option for me is definitely this one, but I'm sure other people will like seeing the data this way. Next, we have our stats, and on here, we can check the current trends for any exchange. So we can add our exchange, which I'll add Uniswap, and we can see all the tokens that are currently trending on Uniswap. We can also add another exchange and use Sushi Swap. I swear I can't say those two words together. Those two S's kill me, but we can see what's trending on Sushi Swap as well. And if we go over and hit see all, it'll pull up all of them in this nice view, and we can go ahead and we can see what's active, inactive, and dead on Uniswap. And again, the way that this is labeled out is by the coin, the price, the volume, how many trades it's done, and when it was last updated, and then the one-day chart. And we can also change the way that this information comes to us so we can look at it in a more visual way as well. If we come over and look at the inactive, inactive shows us the tokens that have not been very active at all. No trades are happening. We can look at the charts. Nothing's really going on. And then we can see the dead, and pretty much the same thing, tokens that aren't being traded at all. Next, we have the Pair Explorer. We're looking at AGIX ETH. We can see the liquidity, the 24-hour volume, what the dollar exchange rate is. We can see the price change for the hour, the daily, the weekly, the monthly. We can see the open price and the highest price it got to within these time frames up here. We have the chart down here where we can see the one-day chart. We can go to the 1 month chart. We can go to the 3 month and the 1 year chart. And then we can go ahead and we can expand. We can get in closer to see what it's done on the day. We can go ahead and zoom in a little bit and see closer to what the price action was. And then we can go ahead and come back out to the 7-day chart, or if we want to go to the daily, we can even go to the daily chart and then see what price was doing during the day. And then down here, we also have the trade history of the token as well as the Etherscan, so we can get more information on Etherscan as to what's going on with the buys and the sells individually. Lastly, we have the pairs correlation. This to me is one of the coolest features on the whole entire analytics platform. The reason being is because you can use this tool to figure out how tokens move together with each other. So you can find out whether a token is going to move up together or down together, or separate ways, up and down, depending on what the token is doing, or whether they don't move at all together. They have no effect on each other whatsoever. So to use this feature, we're gonna go ahead and hit the search bar, and I'm going to use Bone ETH, and then I'm going to go down again, and I'm gonna use ETH USDT, and then I'm gonna hit calculate. And I'm gonna wait for the algorithm to do its magic. There we go. And then we can see that Bone ETH and ETH USDT are correlated 0.49. So they have a positive correlation, which means when ETH is moving up, Bone should be moving up too because of that correlation. If Bone is moving down, ETH is moving down, then Bone is also going to be moving down with it. So very awesome tool, very easy to use, and also gives you great insight. But that is all for the Clearcryptos Analytics dashboard. It's very awesome, very easy to use. I hope you guys learned something, and I'll catch you on the next one. What's going on, everyone?
There we go. Nice job, Justin, by the way. I know he's in.
Well
Good
done.
job.
So that was basically a demo of version 1, which just want to show this real quickly. So this is a tweet out on Clearcryptos Twitter page, obviously talking about the fact that what's on the horizon. We're going to cover a little bit of this, but we're about to talk a little bit about version 2, the analytics. So Carmen, I'm going to pass that back to you in a minute. We are going to talk a little bit about some of this other stuff here in a little bit, but further exchange listings, CMC verifications, a lot of cool stuff. So Zach, I want to dig into this a little bit more before we maybe pass it over to Q&A, but really wanted to highlight the fact that now, Carmen, let's talk real quickly about, V2 version 2 of the analytics trading platform. And so I'm going to pass the stage to you.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's an impressive platform already, and they're already in the works of version 2. And in fact, I'm going to throw it over to Mike. He's actually in Dubai right now, but he's going to give us a snapshot and a peek behind the scenes of what V2 is looking like.
Okay. Oh, got different versions of Mike. Okay.
Okay.
Mike, can you hear us?
Yeah, I'm struggling here. I'm in UAE right now, and these guys, they cut a lot of the voice and video calls like this. That's why I'm coming in and out. So I apologize everyone upfront for this. In case if I disappear, sorry.
That's no problem. So Mike, do you want me to pull up the Taurus desktop so we can kind of show some of the V2?
Yes, please.
You got it. Here you go, sir. Go ahead.
So my name is Mike. I'm leading the efforts on the analytics part of everything that is Clearcrypto, and Taras is my right hand that is covering the technical side of the project. I'd like to tease you and share a little bit of what's coming, because obviously what Justin talked about is a great first step of a big journey that lays ahead. And it's a very little tip of the iceberg, to be honest. So let us talk about what's coming and what's next. Some of the highlights, not to get you overloaded with all the possible details. I don't know if audience remembers the romantic times when you had to deal with the computers through the command line, and then your first impressions and your first feelings when you switched to the first Microsoft Windows or Mac OS. That jump in user experience actually led to computers becoming mainstream and the home adopted common tool for everybody to use. Why? Because it was all of a sudden very easy to deal with the computer resources, with the files, with the file operating system, and other devices you can attach to the computer. So what we want to do is exactly the same. We want to create a tool, the navigator, the new way.
Well, we lost him. Okay, so we lost Mike, and he's back. Hold on, there he is. You're back, Mike. Go ahead. Keep going. Can you hear me? Nope, no audio. Hold on, we're going to see if we can get his audio back. Mike? That was just getting good, wasn't it, Carmen?
Yeah, I thought he was going to come right back, and then it was going to be like a James Brown revival.
Yeah, he's here. He's here. Obviously, you can see him in this. Let me turn that banner off. He's there. Let me hide that.
I actually hear you, and I don't know if I'm back.
There you go. You're good. You're good. Go. You're good.
I don't know for how long I am, but just to get back to where I started. So to give that jump from the command line all the way to the Microsoft Windows and the Mac OS, but now to explore and navigate DeFi and the cryptos. This is what we want to do, and this is what we want to empower the wider audience of users to do with ease and with a great, comfortable experience. So, Taras, let's go through the few main highlights of what we have and start from the product navigation. So the product navigation is actually our way to allow the user to have a connected experience through different sub-products of the Clearcryptos. So imagine that you start with analytics, and after finding what you need, you jump into the bots or trading simulation environment for the coins or for the pairs that you were just exploring in the analytics. These are all sub-products of one ecosystem, of one family, and we give you the seamless way to navigate through them with our navigation approach. Now let's go to the Explorer. Explorer is the functionality, is the section and a part of the Future Analytics version 2 that allows you to overview and navigate into the DEX world. It lets you fly, and it takes you to where you need to be and gives you the overview information of the coins and pairs that you want to see and you want to deal with. We were inspired with Windows Explorer, and who maybe knows the Total and Midnight Commander, which took the Windows Explorer experience to a little bit of the next level, and we wanted to do the same, but now for the DEX entities. Let's go to the analytics, Taras. The main focus of our analytics is multi-views, is different slices and different angles at the entities like stats, stats, charts, or anything that you can imagine, if as you see it on the screen right now. One screen, many views and many angles. So Explore is the overview, and Analytics give you the analytical view with different slices. Investigation is another section that gives you the ability to do the correlation metrics that Justin briefly touched in the demo, as well as contract visualizer. Let's go to contract visualizers. So this great thing will give the user the full overview of the contract's path with some of the insights along the way, visualized in the user understandable format. Trading view, workbench. The trading view is back in its full power for the more advanced users. We go to trading view right now, Taras. Trading view is back with its full power and features for the more advanced users. It will give the full advantages and capabilities of the trading view that is known to the professionals in the space. And it's coming in V2. Investors dashboard. Let's go there, Taras. While Taras is searching, I will just say that the investors dashboard is going to be available not to all the users, but to some of them, and it will give the ability of 360 overview of the investor's portfolio and how it morphs and changes, as well as where all the coins that are held by the investor are traded in what exchanges, etc. Great and nicely visualized. Unfortunately, Taras did not find the proper slide for this in our V2 prototype UI designs, but it's coming and it's worth waiting and having a look at. So in general, a lot of exciting things that make the current analytics, as I said, the tip of the iceberg, and we want to achieve this jump in user experience that some of you experienced once when switching from command line to Microsoft Windows and to Mac OS on the early computers. Thank you.
You're welcome. Carmen, back to you to kind of keep us moving forward here.
Well, I know what I want for Christmas. I want V2. You know, we might be asking we might be asking ourselves, like, look at the scope of the information. We've already talked about how that information is coming into the platform. Now you're getting a view of just how meaty the data is, and it's at your fingertips, and it might also look a little intimidating, right? And remember that our goal is to onboard non-crypto users. I want to remind people that the more sharp your knife is, the more safe it is to cut and cook with. So when we have great data and we have a great pool of information at just the glimpse, this is actually going to help, build build momentum in how quickly we can onboard people. I think a lot of us can sit here and say that when we came into the space, we were really pulling information from different tools, and we weren't aware of all the different tools that were available, but it wasn't really all in one place. So this is really solving a big issue, and it will make that onboarding process easier. And then now people know that they should be looking at different data points that are just beyond some of the simple setups that some projects are out there doing. So with that being said, I would love to move over to introduce Michael Fortier, the project manager, as he gives us some insight into some of the exciting partnerships and announcements that will be coming our way.
Hello, my name's Michael. So I'll go over some of the fiat on-ramps that we have currently that we are supporting. Most of those are Web3 based on-ramps, so MoonPay, Transact, Wire, Mercurio, and those are very much based on where your location is, your country, and then they provide you with different ways to purchase through the platform based on where you are in the world. The next larger one that's not released yet, that's coming up soon, is we are working directly with Plaid on what is a new process for them into the DeFi space. And we're working with them to really simplify the overall KYC process and how people actually get in and buy tokens. So this is going to be probably one of the easiest and most common ways that people are used to in a centralized format to buy fiat currency or to buy tokens to onboard with fiat. So when we get this released, which is about a month away, this will really, for people who have used normal centralized exchanges or are used to banking in general, are going to have a very easy process, fast process to be able to buy tokens quickly.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Michael. I appreciate that. Definitely when we talk about onboarding people, fiat on-ramping always comes into play. The fact that we have such a robust number of partners means that we are really prepared to maybe take care of everyone globally, right? Because there's going to be certain partners that work in certain parts of the globe and others that, work in others. So thank you so much for sharing that. Now, as we round out to the end of the presentation, we're going to circle to that promise of alpha, that big announcement that Austin was talking about. But before we do so, I want to bring on John, who's our head of growth and also in charge of our marketing strategies. Because when you're taking a look at a project, you want to know, how are we going to get the word out, right? So you definitely see the caliber of influencers that we know, and the videos that are being made to educate and onboard people are with those friendly faces that the space knows. But John has other things in mind too. So John, what can you share with us?
Can you guys hear me?
Yes,
Sure
John, you're
can.
good.
My volume ended up cutting out.
Whoop. You're muted, John.
We can hear you, John, and you're live.
We're waiting. All right, John just messaged me on the side, said everything cut out. Are you back, John?
Hello?
There you are.
It's just my headphones. I guess they ended up dying, my second pair. But just like an overview of the marketing. So for analytics, currently for the month of October, we ended up with 7,000 viewers on our page. I think we ended up converting around 700 to actual blockchain holders. We'll be able to get more specific data on that overall as analytics and the swap progresses to actually get a view count of how many people are actually using our platform analytics wise and swap wise. Just for growth, I don't know if you guys noticed, but a lot of our influencers, they're not promoting like the coin itself. It's really just about getting the product out. It's completely seamless, and it's a high conversion rate compared to what most people usually deal with. Because usually you see about a 3%, and we're ranging around 10% conversion rate just off folders. For the month of November, we got another marketing plan going. We got marketing deals all around the place overall. And am I allowed to announce the exchange?
Yes, you are. You've been cleared to take off, John. So go
Austin
ahead.
says yes. The chat is
Well,
firing up.
Because
Everybody
Carmen,
thumbs it up.
Carmen, it's ultimately my decision, of course. No, I'm totally. Go ahead. Go ahead, John.
Yeah. So November 9th, we're listing on LBank. That one's coming around. I'll end up making the official announcement probably tomorrow or Saturday, but that's just your guys' little alpha for the AMA. We also got more exchanges secured, but we have those ranging out for anywhere from 2 weeks to 4 months.
So to reiterate, see, the marketing guy in me just has to get John. John's so cool. He's so mellow. He barely had John. I love you, man, but you barely have a pulse. Yeah, we're gonna do LBank. It's gonna be kind of And I'm like, LBank. We got more exchanges coming, right, Zach? It's like,
Austin, I got your back. Guys, listen in. Pause. Stop what you're doing.
Yeah.
We are going to be listed on LBank, guys.
There you go. See, Carmen, and John, I'm not making fun of you, man. I'm really not. But it's just you're so mellow. John's just so mellow. It's awesome. Zach's mellow
really
right
cool
now too.
Because just with like Bitmart alone, you got 800,000 users weekly. With LBank, you got 1 million users.
Yeah.
Every exchange that we onboard, that's 1 million of actual crypto users. And for the most part, I'm not going for itty bitty exchanges that have 50, 100,000 users weekly. I'm going for the ones that overall will actually bring benefit and get us to where we need to be going.
Yeah. So John, I want to give you a shout out, you and your team, and because and I'm not going to divulge anything here. I'm just going to say that you have been literally burning the midnight candle for 24 hours. I will say for the viewers, right, Zach, is that the amount of work that John and the rest of the team have been putting into place, the entire team, the admin team, et cetera, and going out and spreading the word and putting marketing deals together, right, Carmen, as well as exchanges and doing all of the excruciatingly hard lifting work that it takes to get involved with all these exchanges, which I don't even know all of it. And because they would probably boggle my mind, John, I wanted my hats off to you and your team and everybody for that. This is a big thing. So just kudos, man. So
good job, John.
Yeah, having to switch my sleep schedule every couple of days.
John's on the other side of the planet, so that's why he's talking about that. So yeah. But okay. So Carmen, we're going to get excited about this. LBank, big deal. That's your big announcement, right? Zach, shut the hell up. You're talking way too much. So go. You're going to go. I always talk over Zach,
I wanted to kind of probe with what John said too, though, because, everybody in the industry kind of looks at Bitmart and LBank as kind of the top tier 2 exchanges, right, John? And to your point, a lot of people just go for any exchange, but you're looking at it a little bit differently, looking at it strategically, going after some top tier 2s. And then it sounds like maybe some other ones down the line, right?
Oh yeah, there's a lot down the line. Bitmart itself, it's actually a tier 1. The difference between a tier 1 and a tier 2 technically is just if they're able to support US users. That for the most part is the only way to differentiate between the two. So like a lot of people are calling Gate.io a tier 1. It's actually a tier 2. Bitmart actually is a tier 1. LBank, I don't know if they support US users, but if they do, then they're classified as a tier 1. anyone that supports U.S. users is our tier 1.
That's a good point. I didn't know that. I'm sure other people just learned that too. That's cool.
Yep.
All right, cool. So, John, anything else from the marketing end of the world? So, again, thank you, sir. That was LBank. That's a big thing. So, that's our second major exchange coming on. Obviously, with the teaser being, there's more exchanges on the way. Anything else, John? You want to share?
No, sir. I just love the growth. Next month, 20,000 users.
There you go.
Love it.
Like it. So, Carmen, back to you. You're driving this proverbial ship. So
I'm the conductor of this train. Choo
well,
choo.
by the way, you have one of the best backdrops that I've ever seen. That's so cool.
Oh, I'm gonna blow your mind right now because everyone thinks this is like OBI, but it's like
it's real.
Yeah, it's real.
Cool. That's why it looks so good. You don't have the shading going on.
Yeah,
right?
I'm like, I can move around and be real. And I'm like, when I got into crypto, I was like, I'm on a mission to the moon because something about the moon is important. So that was my entry into this space. But yeah, I want to encourage everybody, definitely go to the website, check out the platform. We are trading right now on Uniswap. You can find us on Bitmart, soon to be on LBank. And, if you get into the Telegram or the Discord, definitely keep, an eye out for announcements. Like, for example, if you hold CCX tokens, something happens to your gas fees, something about like ninjaing them in half. So, out of all the good things that we have talked about today, there's some really great features and benefits for you when you become a part of our community. Also, too, you can also take a look at the analytics platform because we recently just went live a couple of days ago. So it is in your hands, early Christmas presents with version 2 to come on Santa Claus's sleigh, hopefully, right? I'm like hoping and wishing. But this is a beast, guys. I have nothing but love for projects that are building in this space. Everybody's got, a good heart when it comes to trying to build tools to help people get into Web3. But this is just a different beast. When you take a look at the caliber of the board of advisors, the team, the number of team members, the history of the CEO, these are all factors that is really making sure that, hey, we're talking about exchange listings and partnerships with fiat on-ramps, and we're just beginning. So if you can only imagine the roadmap of the things that we know in our heads that we can't share today, means that we have a very big journey ahead of us, and we want to make sure that you feel empowered to take that first step to become a part of our community, because remember, the third part of our mission is that you act. So take that action today. Check us out, do your own research, and we're ready for questions.
Carmen, can I ask you something real quick before we jump in? So
Sure.
what you said there is important because of your pedigree and your background. When you say this is a different beast, can you let everybody out there know who's listening to this your background in crypto? Just so they understand.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I did not come from legacy finance. I came from a long career in retail sales leadership. I have that leadership, kind of value system in my heart and soul. But right now I currently serve as vice president for the Government Blockchain Association, North and South Americas. I also a brand ambassador for military finance. I have worked with over 150 developers. You'll find me on shows, you'll find me advising on sites, because I am the person that needs to know who's who in the zoo. It's part of the reason why I hold my role with Clearcryptos, is because you will find me at conferences, you will find me on stage, you will find me educating, you will find me with just a person in a coffee shop onboarding them. So my talent is to help spread the word, but I'm also a gem finder. And so coming onto this team, I can tell you for a fact that they operate differently, they are real, they have growth, and they have a mission to really clean up the space, and I'm proud to be a part of that.
Amen.
Amen.
I knew that because I listened to the last AMA, but I just want to make sure everybody else
Thanks, Zach. I always have a hard time talking about myself when I got a great team to introduce.
Yeah, Zach, thank you, man, because like we just skipped right over you, went to the board of directors. It's like, hi, I'm Carmen. It's like, no, Carmen, hold on a minute. You need to talk about your pedigree, because I remember when we met you and when we were out in Vegas, and that's how we've come, and so it's awesome that thank you truly for your your contribution as well. So yeah, so let's Zach, why don't you go ahead and open it up, and we'll talk about, anybody have any questions? Here we go. Zach, anything you want to comment, add while I'm looking at some questions here?
Yeah, I mean, Brandon's got one to start. I mean, I'll kind of refrain. I want everybody else to have a chance to kind of hop in. But
community onboarding merger deals, community onboarding. I'm not.
So I think he means other crypto projects. That's something that was listed on the website.
Okay. So, So I'm assuming, Brandon, you're talking about communities like other. Yeah. So Carmen, do you want to take this one or?
We do have some ideas and some things that are in the works in terms of like how do we grow that community? How do we engage them? Those are things that Michael and I talked about before and we're not able to talk about. But I can assure you this, that ACT part, building and exposing more people to what we offer, means that we want to engage with you in our chats. We want to engage with you in our socials. You can already see that those numbers are continuously growing. So there's an exponential growth factor there. Now, when it comes to finding gems in the community of projects that are building that maybe want to come into acquisition or things like that, I think everything's on the table. It just depends, But
yeah, and I think, Carmen, what I would add to that, and being around the executives and the team, is that I would reiterate what you're saying. I would reiterate that they're always looking forward. They're always looking at strategic visions and directions. And some of the conversations that we've seen have been, nothing short of astounding as far as some of the other, directions that Clear is going to go in the future. But no, Brandon, it's a good question. I mean, bottom line, we can't speak to specifics, but I would say that this project, above any that I've ever seen, is always looking. It's always looking at what does it deliver today, what's it going to deliver tomorrow, but more importantly, where are we going to be a year from now, 2 years from now, 3 years from now? That would be Zach, you want adding to that?
I would just add, and being able to pivot, because Carmen, I think you would say the same thing. We don't know where crypto is going to be 2 years from now, right? And things are going to drastically change. This is such a new industry and it's growing so much. And as adoption happens, as things change, you've got to have that ability to pivot and move with the market and give the people in crypto what they want. And I think Clear has situated itself nicely to do that.
Cool. Yep. So Brandon, that was the question. So just to confirm, that was what he was asking. So there you go, Brandon. This is interesting. So Soto Rican, I hope I'm saying that name right. Creek, what are the goals and visions for this project? Well, that's basically what we've been talking about for the past 45, 50 minutes. So, Carmen, I mean, can you do like maybe a 1 or 2 minute, just kind of like, hey, the goal / vision, and I'm sure Zach and I can add it if you want to add anything to this, just almost like an elevator pitch.
Yeah, I'll kind of go back to that first night that I think we all met right here in Las Vegas, because, Glenn gave me his elevator pitch, which is like, look, I'm here to clean up the space. I'm here to provide people the right tools that are unmanipulated, because right now, when you take a look at other platforms, you can pay for play to be there, right? And that messes up the integrity of somebody making a financial decision to invest in something. So we want to eradicate the malicious entities and nefarious entities that are preying on investors. At the same time, we want to educate and onboard as many people into feeling comfortable to come into this space. If we make that barrier to entry less of a challenge by having fiat on-ramps and letting people have access to the right tools, then we're going to see a lot more people come into this space. And that means that communities are going to grow and that missions of other projects can continue to grow as well.
I like it. All right, cool. Got a good one here from Wally, and he's actually got a 2-part question. So in the space, we see a lot of partnerships with major social media platforms. What are your future thoughts on that for CCX, maybe Discord? And then Wally, I do see your second question. So Carmen, I'm going to let you, wade into that one.
I can tell you something that I've always been focused on is like, look, let's zoom out, right? Let's take a look at how we all communicate, what access to data we have. You can see through our platform and how we built it that what you get in terms of your data that you're going to use to make an investment is very important. So we put a lot of work into making sure that that's accurate with a lack of latency and that it's in your hands in one one glimpse. So with that being said, when we take a look at the future, we're going to be more than just a platform. I can't tell you what that's going to look like, but all things are on the table because we want to be that ambassador. Say, look, you can come to us, you can know that the information is true, it's uncensored, it's not manipulated, and then from there we want to be able to build trust with you and with each other, and then from there you can take action. So I can tell you those are things that we've considered as we take a look at what should the next years look like for us.
Excellent. All right, now here's Wally's second part. Also, there is still a market not touched, I think is what he's saying there. I think, and that is online stores and food and delivery platforms. It would be easy if you connect your wallet to store to pay for good or for food. Oh, for goods or food. So again, kind of a wallet question, right, Carmen? Any thoughts or anything we can, discuss there?
No announcements on anything regarding a wallet at the time, but I can tell you this. When you take a look at projects like this, if we're coming out the gates with this type of utility, already working on a version 2, you can absolutely expect that we're going to stay flexible and adaptable to find ways to continue to ride the momentum of the innovation of the technology, right? And to find a way to say yes. If I have seen anything more so about this team that stands out to me amongst others, is that we find a way to yes. Not only do we have the resources, but we have the internal talent to execute, and we have the ability to impact the space. So I think we need to come in through the door and make a good impression and give you guys what you guys need right now. And then as a community, we can grow.
Yeah, and I think I want to reiterate that, Carmen, for people who were maybe who are just coming in and maybe didn't hear the first part, is that what's very unique to Clear is that is 175 plus people behind the scenes working. This is not like there's 4 guys, it's somewhere sitting over there doing stuff. No, this is a global operation. Obviously Mike keeps bouncing back in. I know he's having some connection problems heading that up. And from a development standpoint, I just wanted to reiterate that, in that we're getting a lot of questions about wallets, things like this. And I think the message, right, Zach, Carmen, is that they're always looking for how they can innovate and how they can move forward. Well, hold on, got to mute somebody. I think there you go, Mike. I can mute him. So, all right, Mike's back again. Mike, he's going back and forth. I know you're having issues. Okay. So let me see here. Let me see just a minute. Will it be, here we go. Willard, will there be a walkthrough for how to use all the tools on your platform? I think, and absolutely, Willard. I mean, that's one thing that, again, Clear, right, Carmen, has a very, and it may be somebody like me or Zach or Justin Seals or, the crypto shop that will do that for you. I guarantee you those are coming. There absolutely will be.
Yeah, and you can definitely find, videos that will come on the YouTube channel, and you definitely want to get into the Discord, right? Like
Absolutely.
when you become a part of a Web3 community, you want to be active, and so the community is there to help people with questions. And so whether that's as a co-investor that just so happens to know because they're tenured, or we've built a really wide team, so that means you can go into the mods, you can go in with the admins, and if you have a question, they're ready, set, and prepared to answer that for you.
5 cents from me. As far as I'm aware, we have a Clearcryptos Academy concept being designed, which is about the mixture of the textual and video content that's going to be created by the team and going to be structured, allowing people step by step to actually walk through all the concept that they need to walk through in order to get up to the speed.
Okay, so just to reiterate that back to you, Mike, is that there's going to be a Clearcryptos Education Academy kind of repository content. Yep.
It's sort of a sub portal which structures the content of all types into the step-by-step roadmap you have to walk through in order to get up to speed.
Nice. Very cool. Okay, cool. So let's see. I'm just kind of looking. So we're kind of winding down. I'll tell you, so we're coming up at 53 minutes. So let's do this. Guys, we're going to give a 10-minute call for questions. Okay. For any other questions, get them into the chat, and then we'll we'll give Tim a 10-minute call. Will there be links to all the P2E game platforms? We don't have a game right now. Did I miss a game, Carmen?
I didn't mention one.
Yeah, it's like, well, I mean, yeah.
I like the
yesterday
card
we
that's
started
in
a
this
game. No,
profile
I'm
pic.
kidding. You know, no. Mike, you started a game yesterday, right? That's what you're developing. Yeah.
Is
I
that a
love
Chevy
games.
Camaro
No,
in that profile pic? I like muscle cars. So
Oh, that is a cool picture. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
actually one of my favorites. So Crypto Chevy, no, there is no game. Maybe you're thinking of another project.
Yet.
Yeah. Oh God, come on. Seriously.
The door is
Glenn's
still
probably over there going, oh God, okay, you know.
Glenn's
I'm
gonna
go
be
in the live
mad.
chat with my brain exploded.
John, I love it. I love that John came
I
in.
have a background in games development, and I used to create and run really popular games. So who knows what Glenn comes up with in terms of the green light tomorrow.
Oh, I love it. John, thank you for that. Glenn's going to be mad. That was awesome. All right. I'm sorry. Zach, go ahead. I'm trying not to laugh. But
David's asking about a game too. So I mean, I guess the gaming sector is set to be
They
pretty
have
big.
arrived.
any idea if we're going to lean towards gaming sometime in the future? Ideas like a crypto party or crypto wars, kind of like Mario Party with me. That's actually a really good idea for a game, David. There you go, Mike. Write that down. There you go. That's it.
Sometimes the best way to answer, these without, like being very specific, because, I honestly haven't heard about any game ideas, but I can tell you, like, Glenn is in Web3, guys. Like, this is somebody who, you didn't know he was in your chat. He may have been the cause of big, green candles and such. And so he understands, not just this isn't somebody who's coming in from a corporate 500 level, right? And just saying, hey, I'm going to come into this space and I'm going to do it. He understands from our point of view the journey of somebody who's walking into this space, being confused, having so many options. When you go into metaverse projects, NFT projects, or token projects, you're going to see a vast diversity of industries that those projects can reflect. And sometimes you have the cream of the crop and sometimes you have some duds. And so he gets that. And so you're going to see that come through. So when it comes to understanding the strength of the team and what we're capable of doing, if something makes sense and the community want and need is there, we have the power to do it. So, great questions for everyone bringing it up, because I can absolutely understand if you're on the gaming side and you see the caliber of this team and this platform and what we can already deliver today and what's to come, then yeah, you're going to be like, oh, I want to invest in a game with you. So, anything's possible.
Carmen, that's a great point.
ahead,
Austin, let me just make this real quick point.
Yeah.
So I had a conversation with Glenn one time. It was early on in the process. And one thing he said that really stood out to me was everything needs to be redesigned for Web3.
Oh, yeah.
Everything. And so there you go. Right. So the possibilities are endless because Web3 is here, it's coming, and everything has to be redesigned for it. So go ahead, Austin.
Yeah, we geek out quite often because I'll be at conferences and I'll like send him a message or send him a picture of a booth. And, I find gems, and sometimes I'll be like, I kind of like that. No, I don't like that. And then sometimes I'll be like, Eureka, look at what I found, And so we have a ball in our hands. We don't know what to do with it. But positivity really is built through collaboration in this space. So we all got to get that WAGMI mentality, right?
Absolutely. Well, I'll tell you what, I think that's a really good place to stop, Carmen. I think we've covered ground. So obviously Mike now has to go develop a game. So have fun with that.
John was stealing the stage tonight.
I'm on it.
You're on it. Excellent. And
one thing I like to say about that, Google Michael Price. Just Google him.
That's
Michael Pierre Price. Just Google that. And yeah, that's another, again.
John, to your point, though, that's a really good point. When you're looking at the advisory board, there's a reason why all those people are there. It might look like a really diverse group, but there's a reason why they're all there.
There's always a method to the madness, right? As my grandfather was great with gold sayings. So Carmen, have you ever heard this one? Can't throw a dead cat and not hit something.
Don't let
Oh,
Austin. All right,
gosh.
we definitely need to stop the stream. Don't let Austin start doing these things, please.
Don't just stop. Make him stop. Make
If
him
you're gonna
stop.
do that, I need to go get a beverage or something.
Yeah, you got to go. Exactly. Yeah. All right. So, all right, we are going to end there. So, Carmen, team, John, Michael, Taras, Edward, Mike, thank you so much for your guys' contribution. So, to reiterate, major announcement was LBank is coming. This is an early alpha, and so the only people that know about this right now is the people that were literally on this live and going to watch it in the replay. So wink, wink, nudge, nudge. There is a major announcement that's not out yet, but you guys now have gotten a little bit of the inside information. So Carmen, do you want to wrap up anything you want to wrap up as far as a few final thoughts?
Yeah, guys, the third part is you. So definitely come in and take action. Get into either the Twitter, the Discord, the Telegram. Check out our website. You can find us on Uniswap or swap with your debit card on our website as well. We definitely want to thank Austin and Zach so much for taking the time to let us showcase our baby and show you what we love. And thank you all to you who are watching.
All right, we're going to end on that note. So take care, guys, and we'll see you down the road. Next, we're going to do this again on Zach's channel in the very near future, and we might have another major announcement, probably maybe for Zach's live stream. All right, we'll see you guys. Take care. By the way, links to everything is down below. You can get access to all of Clear's, all of their channels, everything that they've got. There's links down below, so check them out. We will see you. Take care. Bye-bye.